As the countdown. You are live. Wow, no countdown. It's just like bam, you're there. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Tracy Noriega paying it forward to you on Power to the Peeps. Peeps being positive, extraordinary, everyday people stories. And with me today, I have the lovely, beautiful, magical, mystical Patty Kamson. And I know her personally. I've been to her, I was going to say fireside chats. That's funny. Mystical magic. Yeah, kind of. We do this. Sometimes it's fire. Yes, she is an intuitive astrologer, a mystic, and a spiritual coach. And yes, if you get on her mail list and check out her page, her Tuesday chats are wonderful. I love them, giving you a nice forecast, astrological forecast for the week of what to be looking for energetically. So yeah, how did you become an intuitive astrologer?
I know, right? What kind of title is that?
I know, I like it.
Well, I didn't start off with that title, but I've always been very intuitive. I'm a Pisces. I have at least 4 planets in Pisces, so it makes me very mystical and magical, just naturally. But being raised in a very chaotic family, I had to always just kind of find my grounding, find my peace, find my little make-believe world. And with that, I just really connected with spirit just automatically. And things would always happen my whole life. But then as I got older and it was time for me to go out into the world, I met a man. Doesn't it always start that way? I met a man, girl. I met this very intriguing, mysterious man. And we got married within 6 months of meeting from the moment I met him.
How old were you?
I was 20 years old.
Oh, my Lord.
And 6 months later, I turned 21 and we got married. And so it was definitely, I would say, love at first sight. I mean, I saw him and it was like, wow, who is that? He was very mysterious. He was Nigerian, and I'd never met anybody like that before. So we got married. And then my intuition just really opened up. And it opened up in ways because he wasn't real honest.
Oh, I was going to say, what, did he activate you or something?
I guess me, all right.
It was the BS monitor, right? It was whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yes, he activated me. And, he was a huge karmic lesson for me. And I have 3 amazing, most fabulous children from that union. And that's what I walk away with as the biggest gift and treasure possible. But being married to him, he really tested my gift, and he actually shut it down because he would tell me, oh, that's juju. That's juju. You can't do that. You can't do that. And so because I was so young and because I was so broken, I just wanted it all to work. And then a major moment happened for him, and he actually got arrested.
Oh,
it was almost like a bomb went off, and my whole world just shattered. And then my intuition opened up yet again, and this was in 1997.
So how long had you guys been together, and all 3 kids were born?
12 years.
12 years. Wow, that's quite a bit to be enduring that. Yeah.
So then I opened up, and then all of a sudden he was like, okay, tell me everything. What's happening? But at that point I was like, move back. And I just dove into my spiritual world, which has been amazing. So I went to energetic medicine school, got certified. I just dove into astrology, went to all the international conferences, got certified in astrology counseling and ethics, just did everything that I can do to really enhance what was naturally inside of me. So I've been doing this for a long time. And then I raised my children. I'm an empty nester now. So now it's time for me to blossom and come into the world and really be the spiritual, astrological soul that I am. And that's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, you're doing a wonderful job of it. I know I've enjoyed your Tuesday night mystical chats, and I've gotten a report from you too. So she does do that, and so I'm excited about what you have going on right now
Mm-hmm.
because it's not totally astrology, and it's kind of something I had done a few years ago to learn about that because I didn't know how to get in touch and have a relationship with your soul and to tap into that. And I know that was like a wow, how do you do that? And you're going to be providing that, and I think it's a wonderful thing. Do you want to come up with, explain where you got this, because you've never done this before?
Um, I haven't done it on a professional scale, but I have done it in my work
Hmm.
with like small groups of women.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it is my life, so it's what I do. It's how I raise my children. It's just comes natural. So this is something that has been sitting right in front of me the whole time. But I just kept saying, "Oh, but I'm supposed to be the astrologer. I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
doing this." And then, as we all know, the pandemic hits
Yes.
and quarantine hits. And then I'm just kind of going, okay, who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? And I got so much feedback and information. And then it just hit me when I was working with my clients. It's like I'm giving them this information, and the information is a tool
Right.
to kind of get you to the next step. But if you don't have the foundation to rise up to use the tool, that tool is useless.
Yeah.
So I thought people are kind of lost and feeling ungrounded and feeling fearful. It's like, what, how can I help people like connect with all that there is, your soul, the universe, source, mother, father, God, whatever you want to call it, and make it easy and make it not so like crazy and strange, but just like this is just natural. We all
Yeah.
have it. It's so, excuse me, it's so important. It's like food, it's like taking a shower every day. You need to just take a moment and connect, clean your energy, get some clarity, allow yourself to know that you are not the chaos and the fear that is outside your front door.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why I created the 21 days virtual experience with spirit.
Yeah, so if you explain, first of all, let's get this, because I know when I first heard about it, and I had a soul coach, kind of walk me through this, and I was a little, like, talk to my soul. It's like I thought that's what you do. It's like, no, you're supposed to be able to talk to your own soul. And it was like
Mhm.
not realizing that so many of us don't realize that we're looking for everything outside of us and it's
Yes.
all within, right? And so I guess I would ask you to, for those people who I mean, this might be such a foreign thought, because I know for
Mhm.
myself it was like, what do you mean I'm supposed to, or I can do that? Some people don't even know that they have that ability. Do you want to speak into that?
Sure. So, yes, the greatest gift we have is our imagination.
Mhm.
And when we connect with our imagination, that's where everything begins. And actually, our imagination is a part or connected or works with our spirit, because everything starts in our mind and nobody can see it except you.
Yeah.
That's the only person that can see it. When you're thinking something and conjuring up something, the best way I can do it is when you have a craving.
Mm,
Oh my gosh, I'm craving a hamburger. And you're thinking about it, and then you're thinking
mm,
about where you can get it.
mm.
And then the passion, the feeling, the energy just bubbles up inside of
Yeah,
you.
the
And then
toppings.
action.
Yeah.
Then you take action. Then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to get in my car. Oh, I have money. I have everything I need. You go
Mm,
out, and then all of a sudden, what was just here 10, 15 minutes ago that you just conjured up, you decided, you said, what do I feel like eating? You
mhm,
pictured it, you felt it, you desired it, and then you took action
mhm.
to bring it into this physical world.
Yeah.
That's just one way to kind of get your brain thinking how powerful you really are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that connection, are you advocating? Because one of the, I know now I make it a point first thing in the morning to, before I even leave the bedroom, doing my meditation and my little just check in, even if it's just to say hello and good morning. Um, how are you going to be helping people? Like, what are the steps so that somebody might be thinking, yeah, that kind of sounds interesting, but is it going to be really labor intensive? And what kind of stuff do I need to have to show up to something like this? Maybe you want to speak to those people out there who may want to, but just to handhold them through this experience.
And that's basically it. They say it takes 21 days to create a habit. So that's why it's 21 days. And I'm going to be starting um, for 21 days every morning at 6 a.m.
Mm.
And trust and believe there will be a download so you can have the replay. So if you're not a morning person, you can create your own time, that you create your sacred space to do the exercise later in the day or that evening. So I'm looking at doing 20 minutes every morning for 21 days. And basically, it's just showing you how to connect, breathing, certain little tools that you can use to activate, to kind of open you up and coax you into that connection. Because when you first start to open up, you kind of shut down because you're like, what am I looking for? What's happening? I'm scared. What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be amazing and beautiful and inspiring, because all of a sudden you realize all the things that are available to you when you open up,
Mm.
and they will start to unfold for you in your everyday life.
Mm.
Um, because you are opening up communication with your higher self, with your spirit, and with your soul. I'm of the belief that the soul is eternal.
Mm.
So this soul comes into this body right here. And then when this body is done and old and ready to be released, then that soul moves on to another place. It's not Patty, but it's the essence of
Mm.
Patty. It's consciousness that is eternal. So being able to kind of say, okay, there are other energies and dimensions that create this right here. It's not
Mhm.
just the stuff that we see. The stuff that we see is just after it's been all up in here in our imagination and all our conjuring, then all this physical stuff happens. But until then, all the mystical, magical things that we don't see with the naked eye have all the power and energy to create the wonderful life that you're looking for.
Very much so. And I'd like to speak into, just because I was such a, like I would say 20, I'm first a recovering Catholic. And then we'll just start there with my confessional. And then,
Yeah,
when I did leave the church, it was pretty much with not having much of a sense of belief in anything. In fact, now looking back, I'm the one who, separated myself from source and just kind of did that. So I know there's lots of people out there who are, and I understand, jaded with religion or
yes,
these kind of things. But I do want to say to some of those people, having been one, is that your soul is not religious. That it is
right.
your essence. It's your essence. And when you actually realize that you're connecting with, well, the truth of who you are, that light and love that is in each and every one of us, regardless of your beliefs, it's something so liberating because you don't feel so alone. And I know that was one of those things. It was like, who am I praying to? You know, kind of thing. They don't hear me, and I think that's valuable what you're doing, because especially now today, so many people do feel alone and estranged and not feeling powerful, and just having that soul connection with yourself. And it is fun. It is, the way you were describing it with imagination, I know it's been, just like remembering what it is like to be a little kid, and you can even ask your soul to show you signs. I was told that, oh, okay, ask them to say, and I'm like, what? And of course I was a little like, and it's like, no, just ask. So I used to make feathers it all the time. And now it's so funny. I'll find these feathers in all these weird places, and just decide, okay, that if that's going to be, I'm going to pick a feather, and it will be funny. I'll be thinking of something and go, okay, I don't know what to do or where to go. And then a feather will appear. And I'm just like, whoa, okay. So,
and that's the amazing work of spirit, is that spirit speaks to everybody differently. You have your own language.
yeah.
So I know my language with spirit is totally different than yours, my kids, everybody. It may be colors for some people. It may be feathers. It may be numerology. There's so many ways that spirit speaks to you. It's about recognizing that language that you personally have that grows the connection and grows the communication.
That's so true. Before ever knowing about this, I'd seen for years, since my 20s, 1111 all the freaking time. And it was, I remember meeting one guy that I was going out with. I'm like, there it is again. And he goes, what? I go, 1111. He goes, you see it too? And I'm like, what? You see it?
Yeah.
And now it's strange. It's one of those things when you start tuning in, because, whether it's soul, the angels, just universe, and, there'll be these numbers. And lately for me, it's been the 444 now that's been coming up. And I'm just like, oh, this is interesting. Look up that code and what that means and when it pops in and what was I thinking. So I just want to invite people to, this is when you get to flex a little bit of your perspective. Maybe there's something in you actually saying, oh, well, that would be nice if, and I invite you to give it a try. Because what kind of investment are we making other than 21 days, Patty, so that people can, they're always going to come up with the excuse of time, money, and, just, I mean, those are the biggest ones.
It's 21 days, 20 minutes max in the morning. Or if you get the replay after you create your own time, that you create that sacred space, it's $95, but I have a bonus of $20 off. So if you choose to sign up, just put in the coupon code bonus, and you get $20 off. I have a fabulous spirit toolkit that I've created. So it's a PDF that gives you all the things that you may need or want while doing all of these exercises and growing your spiritual experience, from crystals to oracle cards, with links to the places where you can get them at reputable places. So that's wonderful. And it's just an opportunity, especially during this time. I know one of the hardest times in my life was when I went through a divorce. And yes, astrology, numerology, mediums, psychics, they're all amazing. But the one and only thing that got me through that time was being able to connect with spirit and have that faith and have that connection. I used to tell my kids, I say, I'm going to my room, I'm going to take up my brain and look at the ceiling. And they knew mom was done. She needed to go get recharged and just come back and know. And after I was done, it was like, I didn't just feel or think. I knew it's all going to be okay. There was no anxiety. There was no stress. It was just like, I don't know how it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But when you connect and you feel, it's like, it's going to be okay.
That's a beautiful point, because, there's so many people out there, parents and just people with their families at home, who are feeling all this. And this is one way of, yes, alleviating that stress and anxiety. But the other thing I'm just picking up on, because you had mentioned it at the beginning, was that you've taught this to your kids.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in you sharing how you did that with people who may come in here to do this, and then, to share it with family and friends who might be of interest. Like, how did you go about with your kids doing that?
So I think one of the strongest points is that I can tell them all day long, but actually them seeing me do it, I
Mhm.
think was more powerful for them, and allowing them to know that they can go off and be alone and take that moment to breathe, to just come down off this physical, dense world and go into another place to connect. So they would see me do it, as well as we would talk about it. Like my youngest daughter, she's very intuitive, and she would see things.
Mm.
She would actually scare my two older kids. They're 8 and 6 years apart from the youngest, and she's like the the one that just terrorizes everybody. Not now, but back then she was the
Yeah.
youngest, and she would see things and know things. And so talking her through it was really helpful. So now she's not scared of it. She's aware of it. It's just part of what
Mhm.
is. My son, who lives in Paris, I call him Pops because he's like an old man. And since he was a little boy, it's like, okay, Pops. Um, he lives in Paris. So the way he deals with it, he's like, Ma. He calls me Ma. He goes, he goes, Ma, he need to find a place to live. He goes, I go into this place and he goes, I feel the ghost. I'm out. I'm not picking that place.
Oh.
There's too many ghosts. So he's aware of it, but he's like, he's not scared of it. It's more of a nuisance when
Mhm.
those things kind of happen, but he's very present and grounded. And I know him seeing me do the work and sharing things with him has
Mm.
allowed him to give himself grace to be able to take those times out and not put so much pressure that he has to have the answer, or he has to make things happen. It's like
Mhm.
when you get to that spot, pull it back,
Mm.
be still, be
Take
quiet,
a breath.
take a
Yeah.
breath.
Or 2 or 3 or 10. And I think that's beautiful. Yeah, all of us learning how to give ourselves some grace, especially in these times. And
Especially.
yeah, making that connection, making just pulling back and checking in with ourselves and giving us, because in essence, it's giving ourselves that self-care, you know?
Most definitely.
Mm.
And I see um, the age group of like high school to mid 20s are having the most difficult time because they don't have the lifespan to kind of know
Drawn.
it
Mm.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
So they are feeling it the most. And I feel like they are the spirits who need it the most to have that
Mm.
guidance to say, all of this on the outside, you can shift it, you can change it.
Yeah.
Yes, it sounds so Pollyanna and rainbows and
And woo
unicorns,
woo, yeah.
but you know what? Rainbows and unicorns, yes, thank
They
you.
exist. They do
Yes, thank
exist.
you. Let's just bring the high vibration. If you're a scientist, we vibrate.
Yes,
We
we're
need
all
to
energy.
raise the
Mhm.
vibration because fear gets very dense and
Oh,
dark and heavy. But light is light,
mhm.
feathery, and happy.
That is very true. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing. I mean, the real pandemic is the fear and the believing that we don't have any power. And checking in with ourselves and our inner spirit, our inner being, is definitely, connecting with light. And that's the only way against the dark is the light, because even one little match breaks the darkness.
Right.
So if you can just spark that up, that's a great point. And so anyway, so if there anything else you want to add, one thing I was thinking is people might think, oh, what do I have to have to join this? Like what accoutrement do I need?
So, on my list, the main thing that you have to have is a journal, a pen and
Mhm.
paper to write with, um, and whatever else. The other things that I list are optional, like your favorite crystal, an
Yeah.
oracle card deck. But mainly, you just need your body, your intention, and your openness to know that things can shift in
Yeah.
21 days and things can be brighter and better. And the connection that you will have and will continue to want to have is priceless.
Very true. And everyone is intuitive. That's something else that needs to be said. We've just have fallen out of practice of using it and tuning into it. So if you'd like to tune into your inner being and find that gift that you and all of us were given, please check out Patty's. They're right below, and in the description, it'll be the link to this offer. And again, I put in there the bonus code, okay, bonus for $20 off.
Yes.
And it'll have all of the information on that site. And also up above will also be her regular website, Patty Kamson Astrology, to join the newsletter and be able to join in on the Tuesday nights magical, mystical, or is it mystical, magical? I always want to say the
Mystical
magical.
Magical Chat.
I just always want to sing the Beatles song when I say that.
And it's a new moon today, so this is
I
the
know.
perfect opportunity.
Yes.
It's a Virgo new moon, and Virgo is all about your routine and health and self care and all of that wonderful stuff. So it's a great way to start off the energy to do self care, to
Yeah.
say yes to you, to a new
Yeah.
experience, to really having a real connection with spirit, God, the universe, source,
Yeah.
whatever word you like.
Yeah, and it really does. All of them begin with us. So by enhancing our own relationship with self, it really pervades and helps all of the other relationships in our lives. So, and hopefully bringing light to all of this situation with everyone here with
Yes.
what we're going through to tap into all of those limitless possibilities so that we can rebuild a new earth, right? So,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. It's so beautiful. And I was really happy to have you on here to explain it to
Thank you.
people.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And everyone, please go check it out. All right. No reason not to. And again, you don't have to be there with her live. She's going to provide the recordings. You can decide at what time of day you want to do it. And then it's really nice because then you can continue the practice with Patty.
And it
And
starts Monday, September 21st
mhm.
through October 11th.
Awesome. Okay. And there's 444. I was just
Yeah, there you go. That's
I was
444
like,
the angels speaking. Yes.
hallelujah. All right. All right, Patty. Well, thank you again. And thank you, everyone. And we look forward to who's going to be next on
Come
Power to the
join me.
Peeps. Yeah, come join her, please, please, please. And in the meantime, stay happy, healthy, positive, and enjoy this never before lived day. Cheers, everyone.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, Tracy.
Thank you.